Welcome to exercise 2, resilient distributed datasets. So in this exercise, you're going to be able to create a RDD from an external dataset. You're going to be able to view the direct acyclic graph of an RDD, something in transformations, updates when they are executed, and you'll be able to work with various RDD operations, including some that you have seen already in lab 1, but also new operations that you haven't seen yet. And also you'll get to work with shared variables and key value pairs. So in this lab, you're going to be working with some log files. We'll have to upload these log files into HDFS, and we're going to work with the Spark log files. It actually doesn't matter which log file you choose. The point here is just to show how you can analyze something such as a log file using Spark. So go ahead and copy and paste the command in to copy a log file into HDFS. So here I get a listing of the log files available. I'm just going to choose one. It doesn't matter which one you pick, and most likely the ones on your system will be different from the ones I'm going to use, but that's not the important point here. So just pick whichever one you want. We're going to copy it into the temp directory, and we're going to rename it to the spark log.out file name. That'll make it a lot easier to work with it later. Okay, if you want, just view it quickly on the HDFS using the Hadoop fs-ls command to make sure that it is inside the temp directory. Okay, spark log.out has been copied over. And you should already have the README file copied as well from the first lab exercise. If not, copy that one in. And then you also need to copy the changes.txt file. This file is actually part of the lab files that you downloaded. So it is under the home/user/lab files directory. So I'm going to copy that changes.txt into the temp directory as well. So now we have all the files that we are going to be using for this lab exercise. I did another listing to take a look and make sure I've copied everything in correctly. So now we're going to do some operations in Scala. So I'm going to launch the Scala shell, and we're going to analyze the log files that we just uploaded. First thing to do is to create the RDD. You're going to create the RDD using that log file, and in the terminal you have a Spark context already initialized for you. We're going to call this log file, and it's going to point to the spark log.out. You've seen the filter operation before, so let's see it again just to make sure. We're going to filter out all the lines that contain info. Okay, we're interested in some information pertaining to Spark for that particular log file, and we're going to filter this out into the info RDD. And let's do a quick count of this info and see how many lines contain the info keyword. In this case there are 8. And you know you can chain together RDD operations. You've seen this already as well. So we're going to look for the lines that contain Spark and just do a count on it right away. We don't need to create an RDD for it. Chain everything together, execute it to get the value. Okay, so there's 3, and your values will most likely be different, obviously, if you're using a different log file. You've also seen the collect operation before as well. This collect operation prints out the arrays. So now I want to see in particular which lines contain Spark from the log file, so I call the collect action. So all this time we've been talking a lot about the DAG, right, the direct acyclic graph. This is a graph that gets updated when we invoke transformations on it. So this provides fault tolerance. If a node becomes unavailable for some reason and it's brought back up, it just needs to borrow the DAG from its neighboring node, and it will use that to get back into its original state. To find the DAG, just invoke the toDebug string operation. So this will tell you the path that it took to get to where it is now. It started off as a Hadoop RDD, and then we did some map and filter on it depending on the operations that we called.